Beneath the radiant Florida sun, Fort Lauderdale flourishes, a city celebrated for its sprawling beaches and vibrant promenades, a stark contrast to the chilling narrative that unfolded in the summer of 1972. This tale centers around Pamela Wells, 17, and Nancy Trotter, 16, whose vacation dreams were darkened by an encounter that would test their courage and resilience. As we embark on this journey, we aim to navigate the depths of this true crime story with care, understanding the weight of the events that transpired. This introduction sets the stage for a narrative marked by both the beauty of a city and the shadow that fell upon it, reminding us of the complexities and dangers that can lie beneath the surface of our most cherished places. Fort Lauderdale, often celebrated as the Venice of America, boasts a network of picturesque canals and vibrant beaches, drawing tourists to its sun-drenched shores. The city's festive atmosphere, with bustling markets and lively nightlife, promises both adventure and tranquility, making it a quintessential escape for those chasing the Floridian dream.
Within this paradise served Gerard Schaefer, a figure of authority and trust as a local police officer. To the public, he was a guardian of the community's peace, blending into the city's lively tapestry. Schaefer represented the law in a place where daily life was a blend of sunlit leisure and nighttime revelry. Unbeknownst to the community he swore to protect, beneath the badge lay hidden depths, a stark contrast to the serene and joyful facade of Fort Lauderdale.
This setting forms the backdrop to a narrative that would challenge the city's idyllic image, revealing the unsettling reality behind one man's betrayal of trust. As we venture further into this story, we uncover the complexities and shadows lurking within, marking a stark divergence from Fort Lauderdale's sunny promise. On a sweltering July day in 1972, Pamela Wells, 17, and Nancy Trotter, 16, found solace on the sandy shores of Fort Lauderdale. The city, a canvas of azure skies and golden sunlight, seemed to embrace all who sought its warm climes. The friends, with laughter as their constant companion, reveled in the freedom of their summer vacation, their spirits as buoyant as the waves that lapped at their feet. They spent hours under the sun, the ocean's vastness a backdrop to a day filled with youthful exuberance. As the day yielded to the golden hues of the afternoon, Pamela and Nancy, weary yet content, decided to return to their temporary summer abode. The distance, daunting under the sun's relentless gaze, prompted a decision that, in the moment, bore no weight of consequence. They chose to hitchhike, an act driven by innocence and the unspoken trust in the kindness of strangers. Their decision caught the attention of Officer Gerard Schaefer, a local policeman whose duty was to patrol the streets of Fort Lauderdale. Schaefer, in uniform and wielding the authority it granted, stopped beside the unsuspecting girls. The initial relief at seeing a figure of authority soon turned to surprise when Schaefer, under the guise of enforcing the law, informed them that hitchhiking was illegal in Florida. The girls, unaware and out of their element, were quick to apologize, their apologies laced with the naivety of youth. Schaefer seized upon their vulnerability, offering a ride under the pretext of safety and guidance. His uniform and badge, symbols of trust and security, masked the sinister intentions beneath. Pamela and Nancy, grateful for the reprieve from their unintended infraction, willingly climbed into Schaefer's patrol car, their trust in his badge implicit. The drive, however, did not follow the route back to safety. Schaefer, weaving through the streets with the assurance of one who knows their destination, spoke in tones both reassuring and authoritative. He peppered the conversation with questions about their stay, their plans, and their impressions of Fort Lauderdale, his interest veiled as concern. The girls, buoyed by the day's adventures and the perceived safety of their situation, engaged in conversation, unaware of the divergence from the path home. Schaefer's manipulation was subtle, a psychological game played with the skill of someone well versed in deceit. He spoke of the dangers of hitchhiking, his words a concoction of truths and lies designed to instill a sense of gratitude and dependence. Pamela and Nancy, ensnared in the web of his authority, found themselves at his mercy, their fate a shadowed path they had unwittingly chosen. The encounter, a chilling prelude to the events that would unfold, highlighted the ease with which authority could be wielded for malevolent purposes. Schaefer's manipulation under the guise of law enforcement authority was a betrayal of the trust society places in its protectors. Pamela and Nancy's day at the beach, a memory meant to be cherished, became a haunting reminder of the vulnerability of youth and the shadow that lurks behind the badge of authority. As the narrative unfolds, the depth of Schaefer's deception and the resilience of Pamela and Nancy's spirit come to the fore, painting a portrait of survival against the backdrop of Fort Lauderdale's sunny disposition. This encounter, a fateful convergence of innocence and malevolence, sets the stage for a tale of courage, survival, and the indomitable will to overcome. As the car veered off the familiar path, Pamela Wells and Nancy Trotter's conversation gradually dwindled, a silent unease settling over them. Officer Gerard Schaefer, under the guise of taking a shortcut, led them into a secluded area far removed from the bustling streets of Fort Lauderdale. The landscape transformed from sunlit beaches to dense, overshadowing foliage, a stark contrast to the security they were promised. Schaefer's demeanor shifted subtly, his once reassuring guidance morphing into a quiet that was as unsettling as it was foreboding. Upon reaching a desolate spot cloaked by the dense canopy of Florida's untamed greenery, Schaefer stopped the car. The once comforting presence of his uniform now served as a grim reminder of the misplaced trust. He announced they were going to take a small walk, explaining it was part of an educational enforcement on the dangers of hitchhiking. The absurdity of the situation clashed with the gravity of their growing realization. Fear, raw and unyielding, began to claw its way into their hearts, a silent scream in the vastness of their isolation. As they were led deeper into the woods, the underbrush scratching against their legs and the sounds of civilization fading into nothingness, Pamela and Nancy clung to each other. Every step was a testament to their escalating terror, their minds racing with thoughts of escape, each more futile than the last. Schaefer, exploiting the authority his badge afforded him, manipulated their fear, binding them not just with the physical restraints he produced from his car, but with the psychological shackles of his twisted game. The true horror unfolded as Schaefer revealed his intentions, his words slicing through the air with chilling precision. He spoke of punishment, of a lesson they would never forget, his tone a blend of sadistic glee and cold detachment. The girls, faced with the grim reality of their predicament, found themselves ensnared in a nightmare far removed from their sun-kissed memories of the beach. Their pleas for mercy, raw and desperate, were met with indifference, their captor's heart as impenetrable as the woods that surrounded them. Bound and helpless, Pamela and Nancy faced unimaginable terror, their situation a cruel testament to human depravity. Yet, even as darkness threatened to consume them, their will to survive burned fiercely. Each moment became a battle, not just against their captor, but against the paralyzing fear that sought to undermine their resolve. Memories of loved ones, of dreams yet to be fulfilled, fueled their determination, each thought a defiant stand against the hopelessness that sought to engulf them. The emotional and psychological torment they endured was unspeakable, a relentless assault on their senses and sanity. Yet, amidst the despair, a spark of defiance ignited within them. They refused to be reduced to mere victims of Schaefer's malice. In the face of overwhelming odds, their courage became their shield, their bond a source of strength that no chains could shatter. As the ordeal stretched on, their resolve hardened, a testament to the human spirit's indomitable will. Pamela and Nancy, through sheer tenacity and courage, sought ways to undermine Schaefer's control, their minds working tirelessly to find a sliver of hope in the seemingly impenetrable darkness that enveloped them. The unfolding horror, a stark departure from the vibrant life of Fort Lauderdale, highlighted not just the depths of human cruelty, but the strength of those who resist it. Pamela and Nancy, in their darkest hour, showcased a bravery that transcended the physical confines of their captivity. Their story, a harrowing journey through terror and despair, stands as a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a beacon of hope and defiance in the face of unimaginable adversity. In the claustrophobic embrace of the Florida underbrush, Pamela Wells and Nancy Trotter's plight reached its zenith. Bound, frightened, yet undeterred, their resolve to escape burgeoned amidst the looming specter of despair. A moment of inattention from Gerard Schaefer, perhaps underestimating the strength and will of his captives, became the opportunity they had been desperately seeking. With trembling hands and hearts racing, they managed to untie each other, their bonds loosening along with the grip of fear that had threatened to paralyze them. Their escape was not a silent affair. The forest bore witness to their desperate, frantic rush for freedom, branches tearing at their skin as if trying to hold them back. Every shadow cast by the moonlight was a potential predator, but the real monster was behind them, and the thought spurred their legs faster. The girls emerged from the cloak of darkness into the embrace of light, flagging down a passing motorist who, upon seeing their distraught state, immediately contacted the authorities. The aftermath of their escape set into motion an investigation that delved deep into the heart of darkness Schaefer had tried to conceal. The community, once a haven of sunlit beaches and carefree laughter, now grappled with the grim reality of the evil in its midst. Fort Lauderdale's law enforcement, along with Pamela and Nancy's testimonies, pieced together the narrative of their ordeal, leading to Schaefer's arrest. Respect for Pamela and Nancy's bravery was paramount, as their story became a chilling reminder of vulnerability and the imperative of vigilance. Their families, wrapped in the relief of their daughter's survival, also became advocates for awareness, ensuring that the ordeal would not fade into the background but serve as a stark lesson in the importance of community and the protection of its members. The ordeal faced by Pamela Wells and Nancy Trotter in the summer of 1972 left an indelible mark on Fort Lauderdale, transforming the community's perception of safety and trust. Their story is a testament to the human spirit's resilience and the importance of vigilance in safeguarding our loved ones against unforeseen dangers. It underscores the crucial role of support for victims and their families, who often carry the weight of their experiences long after their physical scars have healed. This narrative also serves as a call to action for communities everywhere to foster an environment where victims feel supported and empowered to come forward. Supporting victims' rights organizations and advocating for increased community awareness are pivotal steps in preventing such tragedies from recurring. We invite you to engage with this content not just as passive observers, but as active participants in the dialogue on safety, awareness, and support for those who have endured the unimaginable. By subscribing and contributing to the conversation, we can collectively ensure that the lessons gleaned from such harrowing experiences are not forgotten, but serve as the foundation for a safer, more vigilant society. Together, let's honor the bravery of survivors like Pamela and Nancy by committing to awareness and action against the shadows that seek to disrupt the light of our communities.